AECoronaDayz number 3. We have Kyra and Toms. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Usually I'm asking people to introduce themselves, but this time I'm going to use a video to do that. So first, baby Kyra.
Hi, I'm Kyra and I'm 10 years old. I'm Ishan and I'm 11 years old.
Both schoolgirls are iFly Singapore ambassadors and their makeup team Firefly and are ready to take on the challenge and compete against professional flyers.
This video explained the best who is Toms. That's the video you sent me for the routine for difficulty before VOS. I think this video has the most views, likes and shares on the AE corner with 659 shares.
Wow.
You made a great impression. So that's how it all started, huh? Outdoor.
Oh yeah. This is in China, in Wuzhou Island, and when I was there, I was preparing for Norway for European Championships. This was crazy, and this tunnel was 1 meter 65 centimeters, something like this.
You said 1 meter?
1 meter and 65 centimeters. So if you fly, you put your hands up, you are already like with the hands out and with the legs out. Really, but it's quite strong, so you can do many stuff there. Yeah.
That's cool. So Kyra, we saw your video before. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, so I started flying around 9.5 years ago, and I mostly did two-way for around 5 or 6 years. And then suddenly I decided, why not try freestyle? And then that's how I got started.
What is flying for you guys? I know that's mine.
I don't know. I think for both of us, I think flying is almost everything. like I'm studying so that I can go somewhere else to fly, or I'm stretching so I can fly, or I'm going to the gym so that I become better at flying. So mostly it's like, it's not a sport, but it's like kind of my life and my family, I guess.
Toms?
Toms. I don't know. It's so hard. It's like, what is eating food for you? It's like, I don't know. You just do it. You just do it. You enjoy it, and it's like a complement of your like life, and this is it. You cannot live without it.
When was the first time you two met?
I think Bahrain, no, Kyra?
Yeah, like I think so. You were in Poland, no? Right?
Oh yeah, in Poland. And in Poland, I saw your shoe fly away. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. I saw that shoe fly away. Okay, let me take you to Poland for a second. Just see competition, but not your first competition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you still like this routine?
When I look at it, I cringe a little bit because my legs are everywhere.
You got the title on this one. Were you surprised to be first in the first IPC competition?
Yeah.
So tell us about that shoe, round 7.
Well, so my shoe flew up, and obviously it was my first FAI competition, and usually in Singapore, if anything flies up, we stop everything. So I was just about to go out of the tunnel because my flew shoe off, and I looked at my mom like outside, and she just like shouted, "Go!" And I was like, okay. So then I continued my routine, and I was without my shoe, and I was like, what? And then I came out. So basically I had no idea. Like once my shoe flew off, I had no idea what happened next. Just, yeah.
I remember you in this competition, like everybody were wondering, who is this guy? You were so quiet and shy.
I
And
still are.
if I remember right, routines were different, right? Every round.
No, slightly, because I was preparing like 1 hour in an open tunnel for this one, and I thought it's a lot. I thought this is like, I was training 1 hour for the competition. I felt like this is a big training, and then I came to the competition, and I saw, wow, everyone is in a different suit, like, and I didn't know those suits exist, like tiny suits, like that are tight. And I felt like, no way, like, where did I come? But still, I tried to do the best and just enjoy the competition. But actually, I still remember it, and I still remember how much I was inspired from that competition, because there was like many good flyers that I saw, and I understood there's a community that actually likes to fly, and I'm not only one. It's not only our Aerodium team in a forest, it's actually other people also in the road, and it was super cool. And since then I thought, this is it, like, let's go. Let's push on it.
Yeah, that was a cool competition. And anyway, I'm going to show your 2017 competition. That's Kyra, when you got the title of the world champion, junior freestyle. You were competing in 3 events in that one, right? Like dynamic, freestyle, and four-way.
Dynamic freestyle and four-way. FS.
Much?
Well, I mean, I thought it was really fun because I always wanted to try other categories. And then I think I remember you came up to tell me, and you told me I should just stick to freestyle and dynamic and not do four-way anymore.
I did.
Yeah, and then from then on, I just stopped trying.
Yeah. I remember your mama telling me she loves the pressure, so it's good. And I was like, okay. You never
I
know.
do.
Toms, do you want to tell us about this competition?
I enjoyed this competition, but I enjoy every competition, so it's hard to say.
I think you're the only one who felt like home in this Aerodium tunnel.
Yeah, you know, because I used to fly in, I don't have one tunnel where I train, like I don't have one specific tunnel where I train all the time. So that's why for me to change the tunnels, it's pretty okay. And because I mostly train in outdoor tunnels, then going in any indoor is better, and I feel just super good in any tunnel. So I know many people are struggling with this, but I think it's just something that you need to adapt, and yeah.
Aww.
But this competition was nice. I remember training for it was nice, like getting ready and putting some tricks in, and like it's like for every competition you are trying to find some new moves and new like ways how to fly and connections, and it's for this one was not exception. It was super nice. It was just like flowing, and then some stuff I was surprising myself, like, whoa, you can do this and you can do that, and like it was cool.
Surprise yourself that you can do it?
Yeah. It's like you throw something, and then it was just like, whoa, it actually works, and then you go back to it and work on it, and something comes up like this.
So, since you both have the experience, how does it feel to get the title, to get the gold, be on the podium and hear your national anthem?
I don't know. Okay, I can start with this. So I used to be always second in all the competitions that I was doing. I was second or third all the time, missing something to be the first. And in Bahrain, when I was I was singing my anthem very, very loud because I was super happy. I was just like super, super happy. and I didn't expect it, because usually when we come home in our country from big competitions, people are waiting us in the airport. But I thought that no one is watching indoor skydiving, but there was like lots of people waiting in the airport, and I was super and I didn't know this. I was just very, very happy in that moment. It was nice
Yeah.
feeling.
How was the experience for you? A
I
year.
think it is the same as Tom's. Like the feeling is just undescribable. Like to hear your national anthem and to see like yourself, like after how far you've trained and everything, I think it's really worth it. And for 2017, I remember my grandfather just passed away, so I told him, and like I made a promise to my mom and him that I would try really, really hard and get the title to like, I don't know, make him proud. So I think that in that moment, I felt really proud of myself and yeah, really, truly happy.
How important is winning? It's a tricky question, I have to warn you.
How important is winning? Is I think it gives you like sometimes the second place give you harder kick. You straight away after a competition, you start to think, okay, what can I do better? What was not perfect? And straight away you start work. Sometimes when you get the first place, you like a little bit relaxed. So that's why sometimes the second place, like immediately you are constantly like working on improving. So I think also like winning is good, and you feel it, okay, you achieve something, but I think it can be also dangerous that you stop and you kind of like, okay, like I got it. I think it's very important to keep on surprising yourself and pushing it, and try to find those new ways how to fly, or just like enjoy it with every time.
Yeah,
Like
I think so too. Like after France in 2019, and we had the tiebreaker, like I really went back and I looked through the video and I was like, okay, what could have been done to be like improve? What, like where did I lose the 0.1 or something like that? But I think like for me, especially because we're in Singapore, like it is very focused on winning. Like we only get attention when we get first place, or like even when I lost Rafa by 0.1, like the headlines was like I lost by 0.1. So I think like that's something I also have to learn, because like I'm still kind of like a teen. So like when I see this, like all I want to do is just like win. But I think that I just have to like calm down and learn to have fun as well. So yeah.
Toms, I want to show you something. And I think on this one, the entire world is waiting for your explanation. This is round 7. Toms is second after Amalia, ahead of
I think
Rafa.
I know.
And he's having the time of his life, as you can tell him jumping outside the tunnel. Doing a really nice routine. And then what? What is going to happen, Mr. Toms? Tell us.
about which moment?
About this, mostly the end of it.
Okay, so this is the routine that I was practicing in China, in that tunnel, what you showed in the first video. So I was living, before this competition, I was living 2 months in that island and practicing every day, like this routine. And like I think most of the athletes, yeah. And then I came here and I was practicing. Then we had the competitions, and yeah, then there was the last competition day. And I think I put a lots of pressure on myself with you know, with thinking that because if you practice so hard, in one moment maybe you can lose why you are doing it, and you wanna win too much. And I think in this competition I was focusing too much on thinking that direction. So in the end of it, I was kind of upset because I thought my routine is super strong, and I thought like, how can it be like judged so low? So then in the last round, I was just continued to spinning the breakers because I knew that no one can do it, but I can do it, and I will just do it, and it doesn't matter. And I thought maybe this is the last competition of my life, but I'm gonna enjoy it because I do it for myself.
So it's not all about winning, right? Why do you compete? Obviously to compete and win, but other than that?
You know, a competition is mix of emotions, and it's so big mix of powerful emotions. And for me, I like that feeling that during the competition to being on top of those emotions, and just it's such a big rush to be in the competitions, like to go to test your skills against the other flyers that train a lot. It's like mixture of many things, but yeah, the best is just being on top of it and enjoy it, like present your style. And yeah, if you want to grow, that's the best way. Just go to the competitions, know the other flyers, and yeah.
Kyra?
Yeah, I think it's similar to Tom's. Like every time we're training or I find a new trick, like I just want to be able to make a routine to show everybody. I think everybody has like their unique style, and everyone has like their new moves when they fly. And then when you get something new, you're like, oh my God, I want to put it in my routine so that I can like show it to everyone in the competition. So I think that, and it's all about like, I guess, as what Tom said, like handling the emotions. Like for me, I really like the pressure and the stress. I feel like being nervous is one thing, but being able to perform under that stress is like a whole different thing. And once you fly the routine and you come out and you do really well, that sense of enjoyment and happiness you get, it's like you can't get it if you don't compete. And then you just turn around. I don't know whether you feel it, Tom, but like you turn around and then you feel really happy and everyone's like cheering, and then you just feel like all your practice and everything that you do is just worth it. And I think seeing everybody as well, like when we see the other teams train and everything, like after one year after the other, like we see how everyone has been improving like as a community. I think we can learn a lot. Like for me, even if I place or I don't, I think I can learn something from people like that beat me or even below me. I think that we can just improve a lot from competing. Yeah.
What's the biggest frustration moment you had so far?
Who? Me?
Both of you.
It's like a big mix of the feelings, but never unhappy. I think if I would be unhappy after the competition, I would never continue to do that, for sure. Like then there's no reason to do that. But so yeah, I think there was never that kind of moment in flying, for sure. I think I just like flying too much to just be unhappy about something.
Yeah, same for you?
I mean, I don't think I'm ever like frustrated with anyone other than like for like the judges or how the judging was or anyone else. I think that if there's a moment of frustration, it would be like on myself maybe, because I feel that I do stress myself out a lot and I put a lot of expectations on myself. So like after the competition, if like even if I do really well, like what my mom always tells me, like even if I win, if I didn't do my best, like if I didn't feel like I did my best, then I'm not a winner, because like for me, I didn't perform my best internally. So I think that like if I fly and I do manage to do well, but I know myself that it wasn't my best, then yeah, I do get frustrated with myself. But I know it's just like a stepping stone to learn. Yeah.
Whew, that's tough.
No,
Then you
no,
punish
it's
yourself.
good. No, I don't punish myself. Okay, like we celebrate with the after party, and then I go back home, and on the plane I'm like, yeah.
What is it like to fly in an open tunnel?
I think the outdoor is much more fun because we get to try many different things and we get to bring a lot of things into the wind tunnel that we wouldn't be able to in the closed tunnel. And it's super fun.
And we can fall in the cushion.
And it's more like playing instead of like training.
Tell us about the community. Tell us more about the relationships, the friendships.
Yeah, I think for me, because I'm still a student, so I feel like not a lot of people understand what kind of work we have to do as indoor skydivers. You know, they think we just go to the tunnel and play and fly. So like to meet other people, like other teenagers or friends that are similar age and they still have to balance school and flying and their passion, I think it makes us all really united because we all have like a common understanding, you know, like we all love this sport and yeah, we're willing to give anything up for it.
Let's take the gymnastic or ice skating or any other sport that's super competitive.
Mm-hmm.
They know each other, they might talk to each other, but I don't think you'll find this kind of friendships and relations between people like we have in our sports.
Yeah, I think what we have is really close. Like even if you're competing against one another, I think you're friends even before competitors, and not even friends, maybe like family as well. And I think that the bonds that we have, even competing, winning them, losing them, it's like we're all really happy for one another. And I think like I call like all of them as if they're my best friends or family, and we're always like chatting. I think during this, especially during this time of the coronavirus, I feel really far from everybody. Like usually we're like, oh, we'll see you in like 2 weeks at the World Cup or something, but like now we don't even know when like all of us can meet together again. So I feel like at this moment in time, like the world seems really, really big. And like just to like a few days ago, we were just calling like random people, like the window people, or like trying to call anyone that would pick up, and we were just having like short conversations with them, asking them how they are. So I think we all really care about one another, and even though we're so far, like yeah, I really miss everybody. Yeah.
The first Oceania competition, that to be honest, not too many people wanted to attend because nobody knew what to expect. But I think for me, it was one of the most fun competition I've been to, right? It's just super fun.
It was a cool place, and because it was so far away, I think there was not many people who knew about this competition coming up.
Let's talk about this Kung Fu. How did you make me sit on those stairs and do funny stuff?
I mean, we really had nothing more to do in the competition. We were living in a fake city, so why not make the most of it? And yeah, I think I really got to know like even Tom so much better, and Lucas, which now like he calls my mom as well, and I call him my brother. So I think we really bonded.
Yeah, I think that's the good thing about the small competitions, that you can really get to know the people and hang out. Because the big competitions with the 30 freestylers, like you don't really have the time, and everyone is under the pressure. But the small competition is something where you can enjoy it, and just I would suggest for all the like juniors to do more small competitions and to really enjoy it. And yeah, that's the best thing.
Kyra, you said people start calling your mom. Everybody calls your mom mama, including myself. Mama is quite an icon in this sport. How does she influence you and your progression and your path you're taking on this sport? How, like, tell us more.
I mean, she's probably gonna watch this video and go like, but yeah, she's my mom and my manager, so I always call her like the momager, and is really difficult.
With that name, you cannot take credit for that. Momager is my.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. So momager number 2, but like I really think she really cares about everyone in the sport, and she has really helped me like shape me into the person that I am, because for me, I've tried so many different sports and I've never stuck to any of them. So for this sport, I've been doing it for almost 9 years, and I think without my mom pushing me, like I would love to say I did it by myself, but truly I didn't. Like she's really been someone that helped me, and I feel that she's the only person that tells me like what I want to hear and not what I need to hear and not what I want to hear. So like I think even for everybody, like all the flyers that she meets, like if there's something that they have to improve on, she would tell them. She wouldn't like sugarcoat her words or something. Like if you flew shittily today, you flew like shit. So like yeah. But I think she really helps the community, and she's someone that really cares for everyone, and she doesn't care about winning or losing, but she really loves everyone like from her heart. So
We love her too. Do you want to tell us about Atmodance and the project with Laszlo? Because I think Laszlo is also a big pusher of our sport.
so I'm just gonna, okay, so for that, for Atmodance, actually, I had fractured my ribs like 2 weeks before it. So I was supposed to have like a 2-way or a solo and a 3-way, but in the end, I could only do a 3-way, but I thought that I really learned a lot from it. So at that point of time, I wasn't flying freestyle that much. I did it for a while, but not as long as now, obviously. And we did do, it was more of like an art form base. So we had like visuals that would follow our body movements, and we had dancers, and we had like music and art and choreography and everything. So I thought that that was really an eye-opener because I could see where this sport goes in terms of like the art-based side. So like if it's for performance like Cirque du Soleil or some kind of like performance dance kind of theatrical thing. So I think it really showed me how versatile our sport is because like, for example, I do dynamic as well, and that could never be like perform as an art, but for freestyle, I think it does have the potential. I would still want to keep it like sports based and not so much of like an art form, but I think that that is one outlet that we can spread more awareness to the sport because people understand it more, you know, like when they see dancers and music and art going along with it, they appreciate it more. But I guess this is finding the balance.
There is a camp with the kids almost every year now.
Yeah.
Tell us more about those camps. Like not just the flying, like the whole concept. What's going on there?
So the concept, like I didn't go for the first one, but the concept was like everybody stay in the same house and they could bond. And I think it was more focused of bringing the community of kids together and having fun and finding friends rather than, and just having fun and flying at the same time. So when I went there in I think 2018, like I got to meet like Lucas, Tobias, Carly, Amy, and I think that that's where I really spent a lot of time with them. And I think that what Laszlo is doing is really nice, and I'm really grateful because if I didn't go for that, then a lot of things wouldn't have happened, and I probably wouldn't be so close to the people that I am today. And yeah, I think that first we have to be friends and forge a community, and then you love flying even more, I guess. Like we got to work with different people and everyone got to find a teammate. So I think that that really helped like push the sport further, and especially like in the junior category, like everyone like exponentially like improved after the camp, and we all had a lot of fun at the same time.
Okay, that is Shanghai Disneyland. It's in China, where everything is good right now. So basically, actually, this show is starting to run again, and they were on a lockdown, and now they are again running. So it's cool. So that show goes 15 times a day, every day, like already for 4 years.
Wow.
Every day, 15 times a day. The flying scene, like the whole theater is for 40 minutes, like the one full episode, yeah. And but the flying scene is only 1 minute, 1 minute and maybe 15 seconds. And the idea is that it's the show of Pirates of Caribbean, and the main character Jack Sparrow is like kind of the hurricane sucks inside him into the hurricane, and basically he starts to fly without the control up and down, and then the other bad guy is sucked into the hurricane, and they start to fight with each other during the flying. So it's actually pretty cool, and they every year they upgrade their flying, like the flying scene, because the flyers are getting better and better every year. And like now you'll see already there, like in the video you see the first variation of the show, but now they already are doing some dynamic stuff, and they are actually going like in a hurricane, but at the same time it looks like out of the control. And it's pretty cool, and they go like up to like 6-7 meters and then fall down and then again get sucked up, and it's a nice scene. And the guy who made it, he had this idea already 20 years ago, but there was no technology that could build this kind of stuff. So now after like 20 years he finds that there is a company that builds and that could build the open tunnel into the theater, and yeah, then it happened. And Disney had the money to do it. Yeah.
So Kyra was talking a little bit about art and flying. Art is actually a big part of your life as well. I mean, you're doing movies. You're Tom Cruise.
Yeah. So basically, it's not the future; it's already happening, and then people like it's. I think it's gonna be more and more in a sooner future, because in the last year we did already 3 movies in 1 year. Like 2 years ago, it was only like 2 movies, and then so it's constantly growing. So I think also like the movie industry, they found a way that they can use the tunnels in the movies, and that it can be really like it can be good for special effects. Because till now, like most of the movies, they are using like a special machine hand that brings the people around, and then they just kind of make the visual effects without the hand that they are flying around. But they are always very limited with that hand, what they can do. So they really, like the whole producers, they saw the work in an open tunnel in one exhibition, and they were like super excited because you don't have the limits. You can go up and down, you can do everything without the wires, without nothing. And the people who already know the special effects, they understand that with everything else there is a limit, but with the wind tunnel there is no limits. You can do whatever you imagine with the good flyers. So yeah, so basically I think it's a good future for all the junior flyers, and it's just, but it's for sure it will take time to run it, but it's gonna be nice for sure.
The profit. All juniors, freestylers are potentially movie stars. Okay.
For sure.
Kyra, tell us about the project in Abu Dhabi with Red Bull.
Yeah, so it was the opening ceremony for the 32-footer, and I had the chance to go there to fly and perform for it and film the video with Maya. So, I mean, have you guys been? Because I don't know how to explain it. Like when I went there, I was flying for like half an hour and I was screaming, like really screaming. Like I was just doing like just a layout, and I was like, oh my god, and I was just like, I was going crazy. I feel like anyone like that loves flying truly will just fall in love with the tunnel and go absolutely insane. Like I think it's 9 times the volume of a normal tunnel, so the things that you can do in there are actually limitless. Like you can do, I think Toms, you'll be able to do 100 breakers like easily for sure. And yeah, I really, sorry?
How was it to work on this duo routine, the freestyle duo?
I think it's really cool because I've never really, other than Atmodance, which was a few years ago, I feel like I learned a lot like throughout the years of skills that I can do when flying. So when I was paired with Maya for this, like we really could do like put our minds together and come up with a really cool routine in like just, I think we only had 3 days. So I felt that maybe if we had longer time, like a week or something, like I would love to do a camp with like maybe all the top freestylers or like any freestylers that wants to come actually, but create a really amazing technical and creative like routine. I think that would be really amazing. Like just not even to perform for anyone, but just to see if, like for ourselves where we can take this sport. Because like I'm sure like if Toms and I and Amali and Maya and Rafa all come together, like we will be able to really show, like combine all of our different styles together and really create something amazing. So hopefully we can do it one day.
Cool. I'm gonna take you guys back to the professional flying, like the competition. How do you start getting ready for a new competition? Like you just finished one competition, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Then now you're going to start getting ready for the next competition. Where do you start? Toms?
Me. So where do I start? I basically there is. So I do like this. I try to find something what I just like to fly. Some movements or something that I really enjoy flying them. And then I try to mix them up and find the connections in between them. Like for me, sometimes I enjoy more connection between 2 things than the actual like trick or something. because finding new connections is super interesting, and sometimes in that connection there is this nice feeling that I'm chasing. And so yeah, basically I'm going in a tunnel, experimenting, then doing different projects. Some moves come from some projects. For example, we did this fighting movie few months ago, and the producers, they asked us to fight in the air and to like make a hard contact moves, and during that actually some good moves came out that I would never like think about doing them before. Sometimes it could be like even the Instagram. I watch some cool parkour guy and I see like, whoa, like this was so good stuff, and I just thinking like maybe I can try this in the tunnel, and then I try, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. If it works, it's cool. And or sometimes it's like I cannot sleep, and then I'm just thinking about the flying and some stuff, and sometimes also from that some good idea appears, and most of the time it's trash and you cannot even do it. But sometimes one from 100 you can do it, and it's super cool. And like this, with small pieces from different things, you start to create the routine, and yeah, something like this. And then in the end you end up with something that you really enjoy, and you just practice it, like again, make it better, then change something. Yeah, something like this is for me.
I think there's a huge tip here for the younger flyers, and that's what I'm trying to teach when I'm coaching. To enjoy what you do is a huge part of the routine and a huge part of the success. Like, to make a good routine, you have to enjoy flying it. Otherwise, it shows. Right, Kyra?
Yeah, for sure. Like,
how do you start? I know that for you, you have your personal rule to bring what, 2 or 3 new moves to every competition. Is that true?
yeah. So I try to.
So much.
Sorry.
How can you come up with so many ideas?
I don't know. I guess like for me, it's the same thing. Like I'm always like on the bed, like thinking about it, and just before I'm about to sleep, like I think of a move, and then I have to like get up and go to my phone and write it down so I don't forget. But I think for me, it's all about planning. Like I have moments where I like just go into the tunnel with no plan and I just experiment. But most of the new tricks that I come out is from like really thinking about it outside of the tunnel and seeing how I can change different moves from different sports, or like merge it together or something like that. And I don't know, I guess it's just a personal goal for me that every competition I bring some, like at least 3 moves, and it doesn't have to be technically hard. I think I was watching the video with Rafa, and I do agree with what you said. Like sometimes like the most creative things has to be applauded for, like even if it's not really technical, you know. So I think that especially for the younger kids, like if they're flying a routine that they really like, I think that's the best. Like when I do a lot of coaching with other people, like I've been coached by Toms, by even Rafa, whatever, but I think that I always try to find my own style and apply it to like what they teach me, rather than just like flying the moves. So after they leave, I always like look through the videos again and think of like how I can apply like my own like style to it, or like change it up a little bit.
Which is also really important things to say, that a lot of flyers think that if I'm going to take this coach or that coach, is going to teach me all the secrets and then I'm going to be good. But if you don't add your special personality flavor into it, like if you don't add your spices, your style into it, it's not going to work. You don't want to be a mini-me of someone else.
Exactly. Like I think the most important is like when you see someone fly, you should see like their name. So like Rafa's flying and that's Rafa. Like you should never look at someone and go like, oh, that's a mini somebody, or like he's definitely been coached by someone else. I think that everyone should, like, it's so good. Like I learned a lot, especially flying with other people. I think I'm like one of the few people that still train with other people, but I think that I can learn a lot from them, but you just have to apply what you love to do and just put your own spin on it.
Cool. Let's talk about music. Asiania, We are watching the videos in the judging room without the music, and I'm thinking Toms is doing his thing again. Seen it before, nothing special. And then the first round came, and I saw the same routine exactly with the music, and it was spot on. How do you choose music for a routine that fits so well?
So I've been trying different ways. So the very beginning, I just try to do like this. I'd find the music, what I like, and then I try to fly with it. Sometimes I did the routine and then I find the music. For example, for Bahrain, for the World Cup, I was training with this one music, and then right before the competition, 2 days before the competition start, I changed to another music because I thought that one fit better. So it's hard to say, and it can go different ways. Like you can train with the routine at the beginning with the music, and then try to adapt the moves to the music. You can make the moves and then try to find the song to it. The last time for the Win Games, I trained with I know one very good DJ. He's like, I know him since time when I was breakdancing, and I asked him to make break beat under my routine. And this guy, and then we did some experiment with him, and I actually really enjoyed it. Like that was the first music that I could listen after the competitions. I could still listen to that music, and I was not tired of it. I was actually still enjoying it, and I think that's the music, you just need to like it. That's the most important, because you're gonna fly with it a lot probably.
Kyra, I'm gonna show you a routine that I love from Bedford with Ishua and the James Bond one.
The name's Bond. James Bond.
I thought that it was really cool because at that moment, like I think Leo's video just went viral on Win Games or something like that. So we wanted to also add like kind of our own style, you know, like for us, we had this problem for 2A, especially like finding our own style, because we used to really add a lot of freestyle elements and like splits and everything. And I felt that maybe it's not what like the judges appreciate for dynamic especially. So we kept it for solo freestyle, and then we just stuck to the dynamic lines for dynamic. So that was a really fun routine actually, because we got to add all of our splits and all of like we had like gun movements from James Bond and everything. So I thought it was really fun to do. And actually, like nobody knows, but I think because Bitfoot has like a high wind speed and low wind speed, so when we first went in, we told them the wrong wind speed, and we just both got stuck on the net. Like if you guys know, like Bitfoot, there's a net above, and we all did an entrance, and we just flew up and got stuck, and like the instructor had to come and help us. But I think it's because it was like a new, like in the past, they let us redo it, and I'm really happy because we only had 1 round for the routine. But yeah.
You have different styles, but you're both going with very powerful elements, a lot of spinning and a lot of strength and a lot of power in the routine. Can you tell us a little bit about the strategy behind building a routine? I mean, some people are going more for the technical part. Some people are going more for the presentation because it's might be easier, not always. How do you see it?
So like I try to see it with the so when I create the routine, I try to make it something what I like to fly, and then I try to look at it on it with a fresh look, like not like a flyer, but like just someone who watched the flying from the side, and I try to think if this makes me feel like that this is like I'm excited about it or not. Because sometimes it can be super technical, but it is so boring to watch that like you just don't enjoy it. But and then I try to make it so like so surprising, and then also making it just enjoyable to watch and enjoyable to fly. And I think that's how I do it. Yeah.
Kyra?
For me, I always choose my music first before creating my routine. So I do have like a few, like all my new tricks inside, and I film it on the GoPro, but I always try to find the music and cut it finished, then I start crafting my routine. So I think finding the good music is really important, because there needs to be, like for me, there needs to be spaces with really like fast tempo and really slow tempo after that, and also like a lot of sudden like breaks, so that when I add my moves into it, it really like I can hit the perfect beat of the music. And I think that's what really elevates somebody's move. Like you can do it, but if the music is completely off and you're not in time, then it doesn't do justice to your move at all. And for me, I try to add a lot of varieties. So like even if I do like a hit down spin, like is there any way that I can make it different from everybody else, so that it's not just another spin, or it's not just like somebody else's skater spin. It's like it's something, you just have to bring something fresh and new every single time that you create a routine. And I think that creating a breath of fresh air is really important. I don't know how to do it, but like that's what I try to do. And I always add like 2 or 3 of the of a skater spin, but just changing it a little bit, or like
Okay, what next? What's the plan for the future for you guys? Kyra, do you know already?
Because I'm graduating from school this year, I plan to move to Europe to study, and actually to fly, and then I'll try to find a school that I can study in. That is the plan.
That's
but
cool.
Yeah, so I really want to focus on flying, and I think that because like I'm still studying right now, or since I started flying, I never got a chance to just fully focus on like improving myself, not just in the tunnel, but like my muscle coordination and everything. So I really want to take the time to build that. And yeah, I want to compete with my sister in a 2-way. That's my goal. Yeah.
Toms?
So the plans for the future is for sure we're gonna soon make a first outdoor tunnel competition. It's hard to say right now when it's gonna be, but it's gonna be. And for sure, like we're gonna invite all the players to that competition, and as I told before, we're gonna do it like as a camp, as a big camp before, so people can prepare. And I think it's gonna be interesting, because the skills is gonna be different. What you need, and you can use more space up and down and on the sides, and you can create more effects than in the glass. So basically it's gonna be cool. I think that's something that's coming up and gonna be cool. Then we have some movies that are on the hold right now, but that's gonna come up also, so it's nice. And let's see, like for me, I just would like to continue to being in this sport, in all the flying aspects as it can be, because it's just super nice to be in it. It's
cool. That was super fun. So thank you.
Yeah.
And I hope to see you soon.
Yeah. Yeah.